time for the only radio show of its kind. Auctioneers of antiques, collectors of cool, veterans of vintage. It's the Donnelly Auctions Hour on AM 560, The Answer. For the next hour, enjoy great information about buying and selling antiques and collectibles, and some interesting stories. Now, the Donnelly Auctions Hour.
Welcome to the Donnelly Auctions Hour. Thank you for joining us. We are here every Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. Hi, I'm Susan. I'm back, and I'm here with Randy Donnelly. We are the owners of Donnelly Auctions in Union, Illinois. We're just 60 miles west of Chicago, and we're here today to help you determine if you have any valuable items at home that you might want to sell at auction. Hi, Randy. I'm back. It's good to be back in the studio.
Where on earth have you been? You know, everywhere I go, people are saying, you know, listen to the show, and Susan's gone.
Come on.
Happened? No, I swear to God. Everybody asks me what you're up to, you know, what happened.
Oh,
did you get kicked off the show or what happened?
I'll tell you what I've been up to. Other than running the auction company while you're out and about on your leads and pickups and stuff, I've been auditioning for a reality TV show. You might have heard it because you watch it a lot. It's called Naked and Afraid.
Oh, my.
And they keep calling me back for auditions. I don't know why. But so I asked them, I said, you know, can I get any coffee while I'm on this show? And they're like, nope.
No, I know
said,
that's not true.
I'm out. I'm out.
Very, very funny.
Okay, well, that's where I've been. You asked.
Okay, so what have we got going? There you go,
and
folks. Susan's back for sure. Here we go.
For sure. I got kicked off the show in no time. But it's great to be back in the studio. I did not put my headset on backwards this time. I remembered how it worked. But I do want to give a shout out to some friends of mine that do listen to the show regularly who are asking where I've been. Oh, it's all good. I'm just busy working. And Randy and Mike have been taking over for me. So we're going to fill you in on what's been happening at Donnelly Auctions.
You didn't do the shout-out. Who are you shouting out to?
To some friends that I met at Broken Oar. I know their names, but they said, don't mention our names. But I want to so bad, but I won't. The guys at Broken Oar at the bar, I hope you're still listening. And then, of course, some friends of mine from all of our local bands that come to our auction. So thanks for listening, everybody.
And I always like to say hello to the Teska family, too. They're regulars at the auction, and they listen to our show. So thank you for that. But, you know, Mike is out today on a big pickup. So one of the reasons he's not on the show today, folks, is, you know, last few weeks, Mike and I have been saying, we need gas pumps, we need signs, we need, you know, all these things for August. And that's what he's out today doing.
He's out in the south side of Chicago?
He's on the south side.
Oh, be careful out there, Mike.
Big 26-foot truck, and boy, he's loading up gas pumps and steam engines and all kinds of goodies as we speak for August.
For our August Summer Classic. Have you told everybody about the date on that yet? It's coming up. It's August 17th and 18th, Saturday and Sunday, our big Summer Classic. 2 full days of great items, and we're going to touch a little bit on several of those items today.
Okay.
All right. So what's happening right now as we speak is we're wrapping up a knife auction that just happened on Thursday.
I was so happy to see. I was watching, you know, now it's an online-only auction, and that's one of the reasons we're not there right now. But the prices are great. I mean,
we got a lot of bids on those knives.
You know, this is a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where a woman called us. Her husband passed, and she said, I've got all these knives, and they're all just modern knives. He used to buy them.
She goes, I've got 1,000 knives.
Yeah.
1,000.
He would sit at television, late-night TV, and buy knives and everything. She said, what do I do with them? And we said, well, we've got a big market for knives. And, boy, like I say, I was really surprised at the prices.
Good.
Very, very good prices.
Yeah, not just modern knives. She had antique and vintage knives as well, too. So
there were a few, yeah.
There were quite a few. So knives sell really well.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So, again, if you have anything like that you'd like to consign to us, we'll tell you, give you an estimated value of it. But you got to send us pictures at consign@donnellyauctions.com.
You know, we did mention, Mike and I mentioned last week on the show, the Skagel.
Yes, what a great story. That's one we're going to be telling for many years.
Well, yeah, it's kind of it's our license plate of knives.
It is. Tell it again for those who might just be tuning in today.
Very simply, folks, the woman who consigned some guns to us asked if we could please help and sell the fishing gear. And in the tackle box, Neil Leaders, our gun expert, recognized a knife that was all sharpened and beat up and just what looked like an old fishing knife. Well, that's what it was used for. Yeah,
normally Neil comes up to me pretty regularly on a daily basis. Susan, look at this. Have you seen this? Look at the engraving on this. Look at this. Look at this. And he came up to me with this knife. I'm like, Neil, I don't have time for this right now. I go show Randy. So we went and showed you the knife. We about died when we saw what it really was.
Right. So at any rate, Neil recognized this knife in the tackle box, and it turned out to sell for over $10,000.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Our consignor is very happy.
Yep.
So what's the motto of that story is don't sell your stuff at a garage sale unless you know what you have.
Right. Yeah. And there's always a place for garage sales and conducted house sales and everything. But we always tell you what you need to do is call, whether it be us or any experts, you need to have these items checked out because you don't want to give away the store, so to speak, by not knowing what items are worth. If you play the best guesser and just start guessing, you could lose a fortune because many people would have looked at that knife and put $2 to $5 on it.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's something that we offer for free. You can call us.
No obligations.
Right.
Free chit-chat with Randy Donnelly.
And, we ask you to send pictures and that, and we'll give you, again, a no-obligation consultation as to what your items are worth.
That's right. Now, let's touch base. Most of the show today is going to be about items we're looking for our August Summer Classic. As you know, for those of you who follow Donnelly Auctions, we have our Spring Classic in April, our Fall Classic in November, the best of the best items, coin-op cars, all kinds of great stuff. But we had so many great items come in this summer that we decided to do a Summer Classic in August. Again, it's August 17th and 18th, and we are still taking consignments for that auction. But we're going to tell you a little bit about some of the items we have coming up in case they're of interest to you. We're going to tell you how to bid on them and how to consign them. But one of my favorite things in this auction is all of the fantastic advertising pieces we have. We have motion advertising. We've got a very rare RAR Brewing Company Green Bay Beer Lighthouse lamp. Have you ever seen anything like that?
Well, I've never seen that before until we acquired this one. It's made of there's like a metal frame, and it's covered in canvas, hand painted canvas, so it lights from the inside. And
it's only, how tall is this?
14 inches.
14 inches tall.
Mm-hmm. It's not a very big
thing.
piece.
It's very fragile.
Little bar item that would have been in a tavern sitting on a back bar. But the whole point of this piece, why it would probably be so rare, is because not many of these would have survived. It's so fragile.
Yeah, it's from the 1930s.
Yep. And they would just get ripped and torn and discarded and everything. So to find one in this condition is just
pretty rare.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's coming up August 17th. Now, on the flip side of that, we have a more modern, from 1993, a David Chris Chrome Martini glass lamp. Have you seen those?
I had never seen one until I saw it sitting on your desk the other day, and I'm thinking, okay,
what is that?
What's she doing with that? Because, of course, it looks way too modern.
It is.
For our auction.
Postmodern, yeah. Postmodern pop art.
So that's not considered mid-century modern?
I don't think so.
Wow. So it's later than that. Oh, you're
1993.
Right. From the 90s, right?
Yes. David Chris, Krys, was the designer of this particular item. It can go anywhere from $800 to $4,000.
That's just
crazy, isn't it?
Incredible.
Again, something you would see at a garage sale if you don't know anything about it.
But it's funny because when you see something that is so unique and so interesting. I mean, when I saw that on your desk right away, my eyeballs told me, wow, that's a good piece. Yeah. I had no idea. I mean, I hadn't researched it. You told me all about it, but you just have to check all these things out.
That's right.
Again, from the 90s.
I know. So again, to make it simple on everyone, if you're not sure, give us a call at 815-923-7000. If you're a phone person, you'd rather talk to Randy or Mike direct, please do so. If you'd rather email us, send us photos and a little description at consign@DonleyAuctions.com. But I am going to talk about some other great advertising pieces and one of my favorite nostalgic things coming up, which is going to start into my trivia question of the day. What is one of the most famous advertising slogans in history? I will give you the answer to that coming up next. But don't go anywhere, folks. You're listening to the Donley Auctions Hour right here with Susan, because I'm back. On
and Randy Donley.
And Randy's here too. On AM 560, The Answer.
They've been called auctioneers of antiques, collectors of cool, even veterans of vintage. And they can introduce themselves. Thanks for listening. This is the Donley Auctions Hour on AM 560, The Answer.
Welcome back to the Donley Auctions Hour. I'm Susan. I'm the co-owner of Donley Auctions. We're right here in Union, Illinois, just 60 miles west of Chicago. And I'm here with my wonderful partner, Randy Donley. We are talking about our August Summer Classic coming up August 17th and 18th. Mark your calendars, folks. You got to come out. Have you been out to Union yet? You got to come see our auction gallery and all of the great items that will be in that auction.
You know, I want to caution you, though, when you say that, Susan, because Sean Thompson, that we work with all the time on his show, tells people, nice, come on out, come on out, come on out.
Yeah.
But we're not really open for the public. Other
Not
than
during the week, yeah,
during
but
the week.
Other than an auction,
only during auction time.
Right.
So folks, it's when we say come on out, we want you to come on out for an auction or viewing, or if you're doing a drop off. But
correct.
Otherwise, the auction hall is not open like an antique store.
Or if you know me and I can get you in, you know,
of course,
I'll work with you for sure. But the preview for the August auction is always the Friday before, so it'll be Friday the 16th from noon until 7 p.m. And then if you come up for the auction, the doors open at 8 a.m., auction starts at 10 a.m., and we will have complimentary breakfast, lunch, and beverages. So
absolutely,
it's worth the drive for sure. Come on out to Union, Illinois. Now, real quick, we were talking a little bit about advertising, and my trivia question of the day is, what is one of the most famous advertising slogans in history? And I'm going to put this one out to Keith, our producer. He loves trivia questions. Who do you think, Keith?
I'm thinking it was Wendy's with Where's the Beef?
Oh.
Because that was like the first viral marketing thing.
That's got to be right.
I don't know. I think
right up there.
I think I've got one a little bit earlier, but that is a good guess.
Yeah.
It is one of the most famous, too, but this one, it is from 1931, Campbell's Soup. Good.
Okay.
That's the answer. Did you guys get it right? So it's up there with Where's the Beef, that's for sure. But anyway, so...
Well, you know what? I remember as a kid, I mean, watching the commercials for that. I even know the slogan.
You got to sing it now.
Of course.
Go ahead.
Good. Good. That's what Campbell's soups are. Good.
Keith, you and I are way too young
folks.
to know that one, but I'm sure that's correct, Randy.
And you all know Randy can't sing now.
Which is why we never go to karaoke. That's for sure. But as I was walking through the hall, I saw this huge Campbell's Soup display piece. It's made of cardboard, but it has on it those little round-faced, rosy-cheeked, plump toddlers. The Campbell's kids is what they're called.
They're really cute as
They're
can be.
highly collectible. I mean, that has gone into a mass production of dolls and paper dolls and all kinds of things. So I did a little research on who did that. How did that get started? You know, I just think it's very nostalgic to me. Her name is Grace Drayton. In 1904, she was an artist and an illustrator, and she modeled those little kids after herself because she always thought she was very funny looking. So she just kind of drew herself. But then her husband made a pitch on an account that he was working on that these would be great for a Campbell's Soup ad because all they had in it was like a streetcar. And they thought it'd be great to have some healthy, these chubby little kids, as healthy little kids in the advertising. And really, the rest is history. But what I found even more interesting is at the turn of the century, it was very rare for women to be employed on a regular basis like she was. But there was a growing need for illustrators, and many women had those skills. Just like Tiffany Studios also employed women, but they made them leave after they got married.
Get out.
They did, yeah.
Well, the airlines did that too.
Oh,
as a flight attendant.
You weren't allowed to be married?
Absolutely.
Boy, things have changed, huh?
Yeah.
I did not know that. But her husband, Theodore, took samples of her sketches to an account meeting, making the suggestion that the healthy kids would be a great addition. And the rest is history, like I said. But she never got any benefit from any of that. There's no information whatsoever that she profited from those sketches of the Campbell's kids.
Of course not.
Of course not, right? So who knows? But they stopped using it in the 20s to the 40s. They brought it back in the 50s. It was their 50th year anniversary of these. And that was the year 1954 when Campbell's Soup went public.
And that's when I would remember.
That's when you remembered it? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the dolls and the products are very popular collectible items. She also did comic strips, children's books, paper dolls. And the Campbell's kids. So I'm pretty sure she did pretty well in the end there.
I've got a little Campbell's story in that years and years ago I bought a big collection of animal mounts, North American animal mounts. I mean moose, buffalo.
And it has something to do with Campbell's Soup?
It does.
Okay,
it really
can't wait.
does. Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
So there was a huge longhorn with a big brass plaque on it that it came from the Will Rogers Ranch, and it was the absolute last of the herd from Will Rogers Ranch, and it had all the herd had been sold to Campbell's Soup.
Oh, I soups. See. Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, no, I don't want to know that. What's your favorite Campbell's Soup?
Oh gosh, I like the tomato.
You do. I'm a chicken noodle soup girl. I gotta say, chicken noodle,
grilled cheese and tomato soup.
Very
nothing
good,
like it.
Good childhood memories, that's for sure.
So what else in advertising? Let's move on here.
So I love our advertising pieces coming up in this August auction. There is a framed motion advertising piece advertising Gem razors.
Gem, G-E-M.
G-E-M, Gem Junior razors. And it's a motion sign where the arm moves and shows you how to shave. What do you know about motion advertising? Is that valuable?
Well, I sure know it's valuable, and especially this razor sign. Gosh, folks, I just wish we were better at describing, because to paint you a picture or have you see this sign, which is a man's face with shaving cream on it, and you wind it up, and the arm actually appears to make him shave.
Yes,
it's so clever, and these things go for thousands of dollars. So again,
that's coming up August 17th.
Anything that you've got in advertising, please let us know.
That's for sure. But here's one we didn't even know we had until we accidentally stumbled upon it, and that is the Buggy paint sample advertising piece.
Oh, now that's a great story.
Isn't that a great story?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, actually, I was with my brother Mike on one of our leads, and we saw in a garage, we were picking up some cars, actually the cars for this auction, some barn finds in like the Joliet area. Not that matters, but there was a framed print of a little boy holding a gun. And
we just thought it was like not a military piece, but something for our gun and military auction.
We'd throw it in the military auction. So Mike, takes it off the wall, and we're looking at it later when we've got it at the shop, and realized that it was a picture that had been cut out of a calendar.
Right, and the frame was falling apart too.
Yeah. So we take it apart, or actually Neil took it apart for us. He was going to repair it and reassemble it and everything. And underneath the print, he finds what?
Paint samples for buggies.
A cardboard display of paint samples for, I think it's Climax paint. and it's
a paint advertisement. Yeah, that they
all,
used for
all paint samples for buggies.
There were like 4 or 5 different paint samples on there. How old is
now,
that?
Well, 1880s probably. But the point being, now here's a piece that's going to bring some significant money.
I think so.
Compared to what it would have been. It probably would have been a little $20,
if
frame
it even sold,
and print. Yeah. So here we go.
I know. I love stories like that. You just never know what we run across at Donnelly Auctions on a daily basis. So, again, I just want to throw this out there. We're always hiring. If you are interested in history and have knowledge in certain categories, description-wise, we're always looking for someone to help us write descriptions of these items.
So, one more thing, Susan. Mike and I keep preaching, we need signs. Yesterday, a guy calls us, and we go to his garage, and I'd like to talk about this in the next segment because we got a great sign and some a vehicle and a gas pump and everything else. So
good.
We'll talk about that coming up.
All right, good. Well, don't go anywhere. We're going to touch base a little bit further on our August Summer Classic. Again, August 17th and 18th.
And there's still time to consign.
That's what I want to say. Consign at DonnellyAuctions.com or give us a call at 815-923-7000. We would love to hear from you. You are listening to the Donnelly Auctions Hour right here every Saturday on AM 560, The Answer.
You're listening to the Donnelly Auctions Hour on AM 560, The Answer.
Welcome back to the Donnelly Auctions Hour. I'm Susan, and here with Randy Donnelly of Donnelly Auctions in Union, Illinois. Randy, you had mentioned that you've got a sign?
Yep. Well, last week, Mike and I are, asking for signs and everything. Guy calls us, and he said, I've got one that was out in front of a car dealership. He said, it's a porcelain sign that has neon on it. And I said, it's right up our alley. What is it? And he says it's a Nash sign.
Oh, yeah.
Now, how many Nash signs do you see anymore? I mean,
not many.
But so we get there, and the guy also has a gas pump and an air meter, but he had a 1911 Hupmobile.
Wow.
How neat is that?
Well, we love the Hupmobiles for sure. But back to the sign real quick. Does it work? The neon?
No, it needs restoration.
But
that's okay.
That's okay.
Anybody that buys it will be happy to work on it.
Reminds me the other day we're driving and Randy's like, pull over. And we pull into a driveway of an old motel and there's a giant motel sign, neon sign that definitely needed some work. What'd you do? Give them your business card?
I did, of course.
Of course you did.
Walked in and
we love neon signs, but
Susan's saying it's too big.
God, the bigger the better, huh?
My motto is exactly. I don't care how big it is.
Our favorite was the Chicago Joe's.
That was
neon sign was pretty good. Yeah, and then of course the one for the Chinese restaurant.
The chop suey sign.
The chop suey sign. Those
Sure.
were good. And then the Hillcrest sign from the movie theater. And as we say Joliet, you say Joliet, but that's okay. I won't make fun of you there. But
yes, you do.
So
you're back. So you come back just to make fun of me. Is that what's happening?
Mike doesn't?
No.
Okay. All right, I see where I stand. But anyway, I want to talk about the 1911 Hupmobile. What do you know about that?
Well, oddly, we've had a 1911 Hupmobile before, unrestored.
Yes, unrestored.
The last one we had, this was great. We got it from the family of an original owner. This car had been purchased by this gentleman's family back in 1911, and
they're the original owners?
Yes.
Okay.
Of the last one we had. And so original family, and it had been parked in this garage since 1938. And the whole neighborhood always had heard rumors that this car existed and everything because it's been there since 1938.
Wow.
And this was out in Michigan. So when we went to pick it up, it was great. It was just like a treasure trove. I mean, it was just unrestored, just as it was parked in 1938.
Didn't you have to drag it out of there?
We did.
Yeah.
But the whole neighborhood all came running when the garage doors opened up. We actually had to take the doors apart, these old wooden doors, to get it out. It was so neat. The whole neighborhood came out, and they were all taking pictures and everything. The newspapers showed up because of this car. So we sell the car. And it goes back to the same neighborhood, people.
It went back to Michigan, didn't it?
It went back to the same city. The people in the neighborhood that knew this car existed all these years just couldn't let it leave. They had to bring it back because they felt it belonged back in that city. How neat. But now this Hupmobile, this is a little two-door. Or two-seat.
Two-seater.
Two-seat.
Two-seater.
And,
From the Hupmobile company out of Detroit.
Yes.
Yeah, and they were in business for how long? Do you remember? It wasn't very long, but
they didn't make it to World War II. They ended up closing in the 30s, like 38, 39, something like that. But it was the Hupp Motor Company, correct?
Right. Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, and that's coming up on Sunday, August 18th, is when we have all of those barn find and unrestored vehicles coming up.
And here's the thing, folks. So many times people think that their vehicles need to be restored to bring any money. But there's a whole segment of collectors that want them that way. They don't want a restored vehicle. They want the old look, and they'll actually varnish right over the rust and everything to preserve that look, because once you restore a car, you can never unrestore
it. Right.
Yeah. It's so if you've got an old classic car that's rusty but just looks neat that way, I recommend truly that you sell it that way, because in most cases, if you go to restore the car, the cost of restoration exceeds the cost of the restored item.
It's very expensive. The other day, I had a father-son duo come out to the Wild West town. They wanted to look at the cars. If you've driven past the Wild West town, there's, 15 cars out in the parking lot for this auction on the 18th. And he was looking for a project car for his son. And guess which one the son loved?
I don't know.
He loved the Ford Mustang.
Oh, of course. That Mustang convertible
is
pretty
can you imagine restoring that thing?
Yeah, it's got a big engine in it.
Yeah.
That's going to be a hot car.
I think so, too. So we'll talk more about all the different vehicles we have coming up. But mainly your point is these are all unrestored barn finds. Are they from this one collector, Randy? Where did those come from?
Well, everything that we've got right now is actually just two collections. One woman had, 14 cars out of Wakanda. Diane out of Wakanda. Sweet lady.
Thank you, Diane.
What a sweetheart. And then the others came out of Joliet.
Okay. Great. And again, August 18th, Summer Classic. Unrestored barn find vehicles. We probably will have 20 by the end.
And motorcycles.
We'll
talk about that when we come back.
And 2 boats. Yep. Oh, my gosh. It's going to be a great auction. Mark your calendars for sure. But join us after the break. You're listening to the Donnelly Auctions Hour, like I said, every Saturday at 1 o'clock on AM 560, The Answer.
And now, more of the Donnelly Auctions Hour on AM 560. The Answer.
We are back with the Donnelly Auctions Hour. I'm Susan here with Randy. Thanks for sticking with us during that break. But, one of my favorite things in our auctions always are vehicles. I love, love, love classic cars. And even though these are all unrestored barn finds, tell our listeners which ones we have. Well, those right there are awesome.
Yeah, there's a couple unrestored, these old Volkswagen buses.
Yes, not one, but 2.
Right. There's a lot of people been looking at those. We've got old 1940s and 50s Fords. We've got a 41 Plymouth convertible
and that's a beauty, isn't it?
That must have been restored at one point. It's just that nice.
That's not. Yeah,
it's just
not a dirty old barn find.
But we've got older cars. We mentioned the 11 Hupmobile. We've got a 27 Chevy. We've got a 31 Ford Model A. There's some trucks.
Old trucks that would be great for photo opportunities for sure. And then with the Ford Mustangs right here, there's 2 of them.
Mm-hmm. And one Mustang is so bad. It's rusted out so bad. It's just a parts vehicle. But that's okay.
Okay, yeah, good.
That's okay.
Good to know.
People need parts all the time.
And then, of course, this little guy up here, I can't remember what that is called. It is not a, I don't remember what that's called, but I'll have that information the next
then
time.
Then we shouldn't have talked about it.
I know, I'm sorry. It looks like a Gremlin, but it's not. It's a little... Oh, shoot. It's a Mazda, I think. But anyway, so we got some great cars coming up, again, Sunday, August 18th.
And, I was picking up some motorcycles out of a guy's place, and one thing that he had was a Harley that he did not want to sell because he was giving it away to a family member. And so when I showed it a picture that I had taken to my Harley expert, he goes, "Randy, that's a rare racing engine." He said, "Call him back." He said, because before he gives it away, he should know that engine's probably worth $35,000. So I did call him back, and he's right now going to check and find out how bad the family member wants it, because he's rethinking about giving it away now. And that's, again, one thing you do have to be careful of. If you want to give stuff away, of course, you give it away to your family. But always know, what the value of some of these things are, because even the family member, knowing how expensive it is, probably isn't going to want it. He said, "No, go ahead and sell it for the money."
Go ahead and sell it. Yeah. Well, we have the 20 vehicles, 2 boats. I don't know much about the boats right now. Do you know?
Nah, they're just old.
They're just older boats. Yeah. Scooters.
Sure.
We've got those 2 scooters. Those are fairly new.
Those are really neat, too. I think they're called... silver pigeons, are they?
Maybe silver pigeons
or silver eagles.
Something with the pigeon.
I should know. We should be a little bit more prepared for our show, so we could tell you what some of this stuff is.
Well, I'm prepared,
but I never am. I just love to wing it. It's so much fun to come in here and just be able to talk. And everything.
there's no script, that's for sure.
We're also picking up a couple of railroad velocipedes.
We are.
And that is where you would put these 3-wheeled railroad vehicles on, and they crank back and forth. So they're hand-powered so that you can scoot along on railroad tracks. We have 2 of those coming in this weekend.
Well, the other thing I forgot to mention are bicycles, vintage bicycles. We have about 25 of them coming up, but I put those on Saturday, not on Sunday. So they're with our toy category. They're amazing old bicycles with the tanks on them.
The old tank-style bikes, and a lot of Schwinn Phantom, and all these.
There's a Montgomery Ward's one that we pulled out. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. There's
Stingrays. I mean, you name it. There's some really good bikes in this collection. Again, unrestored, but complete. Nice restoration projects.
What are the ones with the banana seat? That's what I had when I was a kid. The banana seat on there, the high... All handlebars. Oh, my gosh.
All kinds of goodies.
So, again, about 25 bicycles on Saturday the 17th. And we have a nice collection of toys as well, coin-op items, gambling. How about those slot machines? We've
always got a good selection of coin-op. There's good slot machines, good pinball machines. And these are all things, folks, that we're still looking for more of.
Yes.
There's still time to consign, so call us now.
815-923-7000, or send us an email so we can get those photos to Randy and Mike before you come out. Consign at DonleyAuctions.com.
Now, one thing that I wanted to bring up, too, is that Civil War, we have a big, beautiful Civil War collection coming in, uniforms and flags and all kinds of goodies, weapons. So we are definitely looking for more to add to this new Civil War auction that we're going to be launching soon. Anything in Civil War items, and I keep telling everybody I need a Civil War cannon. So I'm looking for cannons and old monuments. If any of you cities and municipalities out there have things you want to get rid of, give us a call.
Give us a call, 815-923-7000. Randy loves the military items for sure. But I do remember what that car was that was on our flyer.
Okay.
I remembered it now. It's a Ford Maverick. Remember those?
Oh, I do, yeah.
I don't know if they're valuable at all, but they're so ugly that I love it.
I never liked them when they were new.
No, we didn't like them when they were brand new, but
I'll like them if they have value.
Yeah, that's right. That's for sure. But anyway, so the cars coming up, the Civil War items, when do those come up for auction?
Well, we're not picking a date until we finish cataloging it.
Okay.
So we'll keep everybody posted, but there's plenty of time to consign anything in Civil War relics.
That's right. I had a friend at our last auction saying, "Don't you have any Civil War items?" Well, I can't wait to call him. Roger, I got some Civil War items for you. That's coming up sometime this year. But don't go anywhere, folks. We're not done yet. You're listening to the Donley Auctions Hour every Saturday at 1 o'clock right here on AM 560, The Answer.
The Donley Auctions Hour continues now on AM 560, The Answer.
We are back with the Donley Auctions Hour. I'm Susan here with Randy Donley. We've been talking about items we're looking for our August Summer Classic auction, August 17th and 18th. Coin up items, vehicles, Petroliana, gambling, all kinds of great stuff coming up in that. Randy, you wanted to mention...
Well, Susan, the other day I bought a old airplane. I don't even know what kind of plane it is. It was... abandoned at the airport in the local area here, and I wanted to make a sign out of it, which I am planning on doing. But somebody saw it in the parking lot the other day and said to me, "Oh, you sell airplanes?" I said,
of course we do. It's big and heavy.
We're always looking for airplanes, and I haven't. We do so much with World War I items, and yet I have not had anybody ever call me with an old biplane. So, and one of my favorite restaurants used to be in Wheeling. It's now closed. It was called the 94th Aero Squadron. And out in front of there, they had replica biplanes on the ground. You could go have your pictures taken with them and everything. And I don't know what ever happened to those. Once the restaurant was closed, I lost touch of the artifacts out in front. But if anybody out there knows where there's any airplanes, I'm looking for motors, parts, you name it, especially for biplanes. I'll consign or buy either a single piece, a single plane, or a collection.
Yeah, you flew in a biplane once. Remember in Vegas, you and Shauna did. Mm-hmm. What an experience that was.
Speaking of which, Shauna has not been with us. She's been busy selling real estate. We're so busy, folks. Thank you. With real estate, keep us in mind when you have items to sell. Normally, you're cleaning out a house. And we do the real estate, too. A lot of people don't call us because they think, oh, we don't want our property auctioned. Well, we don't auction the property. We definitely sell the real estate, just like any other broker. She uses Christie's at Property is who Shauna is with, and we can help you with all your property needs.
That's right. If you go to our website at DonleyAuctions.com, we have a Donley Group tab for you to get further information to contact Shauna. But one thing real quick, we're almost done. I wanted to say congratulations to our whole team at Donley Auctions for you coming up with an idea and jumping on it with our Badge of Honor ear tags that were shown. People were wearing them at the RNC.
All over the convention.
In Milwaukee.
Absolutely.
That was us, everybody. We came up with the idea.
Little American flags that fit over your right ear to show solidarity to the...
That's correct.
The assassination attempt. And what a horrific experience for anybody that must have been.
Right.
And our condolences certainly to the families that were injured. What a horrible thing. So
you designed these, and we got 1,500 of them up to Milwaukee in one day. And on the back of them, it says, "We all dodged the bullet." Isn't that the truth?
That's a
fact. But if you're looking for some of our ear tags, go to DonleyAuctions.com. You can order them there, and we will be distributing any proceeds from these little nuggets to charity.
Absolutely.
That's for sure.
Absolutely.
So hopefully everyone get one and be prepared to wear it loud and proud.
You got it.
And also, if you have an idea, you gotta jump on it. Everybody has ideas, but they just let them go by the wayside. Not us at Donley Auctions, that's for sure. But anyway, thanks everyone for listening to the Donley Auctions Hour right here on AM 560. For now, I'm Susan.
And I'm Randy Donley.
And we'll see you at the auction.
Thanks for listening to the Donley Auctions Hour on AM 560, The Answer. Check out all the latest information on upcoming auctions and collectibles at DonleyAuctions.com. And while you're there, you can contact someone about buying or selling your collectibles or estates. That's DonleyAuctions.com.